America, we got to get back to doing what's expected of us as free citizens in this democracy. That means being tolerant, being respectful, staying informed, and being engaged. I'm former Congressman Joe Walsh. Follow me here and join the millions of Americans who are renewing their social contract with each other. The social contract, it's on us. Hey, I got to start out pissed off. I don't like to start out on a Friday pissed off. I like to start out on a Friday, man, a little more chill because we're heading into the weekend. But I can't be chill. I can't be chill every fucking day. Trump and his government say things and do things that must not be accepted in this country. This is a rhetorical question. What if? Okay, it's a rhetorical question. What if fascism arrives in America and takes hold in America, and people are too bored or unserious to even notice? I.e., what if fascism comes to America and fascism is in America and the people don't notice? For whatever reason, the people don't notice. Now, look, that's a rhetorical question because I think fascism is here. Did a TV show the other day, again, got into a little bit of it with somebody who said we're creeping toward authoritarianism, fascism. And I said, ain't nothing about creeping. We're not creeping toward this country, this oldest, greatest democracy on the planet. Fascism is here. I've got a fatal flaw. I can only tell you what I believe. I can only say what I believe. And I get worked up because we've normalized shit in this country with Trump that we should never normalize. And if we keep doing it, then fascism will keep creeping up and it'll be here. And you'll have no freedoms and you'll have no rights and we'll have no free and fair elections. We'll have no free press. Because we just, every time he told a lie, we just shrugged our shoulders. Every time he threatened to go after a private company, we just kind of looked the other way or shrugged our shoulders. Every time he got somebody kicked off of the air, we were too busy doing our own shit. And so we've normalized now. You know what we've normalized in America? We've normalized, it's like normal now for a president to use the powers of his office to get private people fired, private individuals fired. How you like me now? You happy with that, America? That's what's normal now. That's what Trump does all the time. He goes after private individuals and private companies. He uses the powers of his office to do that, to threaten them, to censor them, to subdue them, to destroy their livelihoods. This is fascism. This is fascism. And look, I forget about MAGA. Because MAGA doesn't mind a fascist in the White House if that fascist in the White House is their fascist. I've talked to enough MAGA. I've talked to enough Trump supporters on a daily basis. They don't give a damn if Trump's a tyrant as long as he's their tyrant, as long as he's their dictator. As long as he's going after CBS News and Colbert and CNN, then they don't mind that the president of the United States is a fascist because he's going after people they don't like. I have zero patience for that attitude, just like I'd have zero patience for anybody on the left who loved a Democratic president acting like a fascist and pulling Fox News shows off the air. See, I'm a weird duck, man. I don't want a fascist from the left or the right. I don't want a president of the United States to be able to use the powers of his office to silence people, to get people fired. I heard something yesterday on air, on Fox News, that just fucking sent me over the edge. And it's this, again, it's this idea of, and I know we're all living busy lives, and I know that Donald Trump every day throws 1,000 pieces of dog shit against the wall, and we become numb to it, and we just want to turn away and live our own lives. And so as we do that, Trump more day after day, week after week, month after month becomes a fascist, becomes a tyrant, becomes a dictator. And then we're going to wake up one morning, I don't know, a couple months down the road, a couple years down the road, and we're going to say, oh my God, we have a tyrant in the White House. And I'm going to be sitting here saying we've had him there for a while because we normalize this. I can't let myself normalize it. And so I'm attuned to shit that I hear that scares me and should scare all of you who want to live in a democracy, who want to live in a free country, who do not want the person in the White House to be a dictator or a tyrant. I was watching, I watch everything. I was watching some Fox News yesterday morning. The host had on, what's his name? Oh, Keith, I'm drawing a blank. The head of the FCC. And they were talking about how the Trump administration got Colbert fired. So someone in the federal government on Fox News yesterday bragging about how they got Stephen Colbert, on CBS fired. Someone in our government using the government to get a private individual fired. They were talking about this. I'm going to play the clip. TikTok, I'm going to turn you around and play the clip. Fire away, Keith.
Let's go to The View, shall we? Joy Behar yesterday said this.
First of all, who tried to overthrow the government on January 6th?
Wait, let me think. Who
was that again? That was not Obama. The thing about him is that he's so jealous of Obama because Obama is everything that he is not.
Yeah.
Trim.
Yeah.
Smart. Handsome.
Happily
married, and can sing Al Green's song, Let's Stay Together, better than Al Green.
Yeah.
And Trump cannot stand it. It's driving him crazy. Jealousy is not green is not a good color.
That from yesterday. Who knows what happens today? The White House chose to respond to that. And this is what they said. Joy Behar is an irrelevant loser suffering from a severe case of Trump derangement syndrome. It's no surprise that The View's ratings hit an all-time low last year. She should self-reflect on her own jealousy of President Trump's historic popularity before her show is the next to be pulled off air, end quote. Is The View now in the crosshairs of this administration?
Stop, Keith. Stop it. That's the word, man. That's the word that sent me off. Is The View in the crosshairs? Bill Hemmer, Fox News, asking Brendan Carr, head of the FCC, is The View in trouble? Is the government going to go after The View because they don't like what the ladies on The View say? That word it blew me away. I stopped everything I was doing yesterday. A Fox News host asking an official in the federal government if a media show is in the Trump administration's crosshairs, meaning the Trump administration, man, is going to go after them. In the crosshairs. Bill Hemmer, what the fuck? The question, going to normalization, the question scared the hell out of me. How could Bill Hemmer ask that question? How in God's name can any private media company, any show, anywhere, be in the crosshairs of the government for expressing an opinion, for criticizing the president? I was thinking to myself when he's asking that question, like if I were him, I would have stopped. Well, this is a ridiculous. What do you mean? This is a ridiculous question to ask. Are the ladies in The View? Are they going to get fired by? Is Trump going to go after them to try to get them fired because Trump doesn't like their opinion? Like I would have stopped myself mid-question and said, "Oh my God, what am I doing here? I can't ask this question. Trump's not a fucking dictator. He's not a tyrant. What do you mean the president of the United States can get people, private people, fired? What is this? I'm not going to ask this question. In fact, I'm going to end this interview right now. In fact, I'm going to quit Fox News for even doing this. This is fascism. He had on Brendan Carr, the head of the FCC, bragging about how the Trump administration got Stephen Colbert fired. Whoa. If that doesn't, and I don't care where you are politically, if that doesn't send a chill up your spine, that in this country, in this free country, the president, any president of either political party can get some private individual fired, can use the powers of his office to get a private individual silenced and fired. This is fascism. And it should send a chill up the spine of every one of us, right? MAGA. Imagine President Barack Obama. Imagine Obama's head of the FCC on MSNBC, and Obama got, Laura Ingraham fired, and they're bragging about that. And then the host on MSNBC asks Obama's FCC head, who's next? Is the Sean Hannity show going to be in Obama's crosshairs? I.e., will Obama now go after Hannity and get Hannity fired? MAGA, you would fucking blow a gasket. Rightly. You'd be screaming and crying if a President Barack Obama used the powers of his office to get media voices that he doesn't like fired. And I'm going to believe deep down, MAGA, deep down, you know I'm right. And you know this is wrong. That question yesterday is still haunting me. Who's next? The Fox News host asked. Who's next going to be in Trump's crosshairs? Fascism. I talk about it a lot. I believe that Donald Trump is a fascist. I believe that my former political party, the Republican Party, is a fascist embracing country. Every single American, every single Republican should be outraged that any media voice out there of any perspective is in the crosshairs of any administration of the government. This is fascism, right? Creeping up on us while we're sleeping, while we're playing, while we're out there working, while we're on the boat this weekend, while we're on vacation, while we're drinking beers with the buddy. with the buddies, here comes fascism just creeping along, man. And we didn't notice because we're living our lives. We're on social media and we go on TikTok and we're distracted and we're busy and we're unserious, man. We're living our lives, got a new car, got a new truck. Life is good. And here comes fascism, creeping every day. Fascism. You pick your definition. The dictionary definition of fascism. A dictionary definition of fascism. You pick yours. A government, and tell me how familiar this sounds right now. Fascism, a government system led by a dictator having complete power, forcibly suppressing opposition and criticism, regimenting all industry and commerce, etc., and emphasizing an aggressive nationalism and often racism. What the fuck does that sound like? What political party in America does that sound like? A nationalist political party? A racist political party? An authoritarian-leaning political party? A political party? A president that wants to suppress opposition and criticism? This president for 6 months going after and suing and shutting up media companies and law firms and tech companies and universities and colleges and universities and private individuals and media voices he doesn't like. That's what this is. The ladies of The View, they're next. Joy Behar. They're next. They're in the fascists' crosshairs. Trump now is going to set his sights. He got Stephen Colbert fired. He doesn't like the way the ladies on The View criticize him. So the fascist in the White House is going to use his power to suppress that criticism and get that show off of air. South Park. Trump's already going after South Park because South Park said that Donald Trump is a big fat man with a teeny tiny penis. So watch Trump do all he can to silence South Park. This is fascism, plain and simple. And it snuck up on us because we, the people, well, way too many of us are okay with it. Again, way too many of Trump's supporters. And they've told me this every day for years. I come from MAGA. I still engage with MAGA every single day. For years, they've told me, Joe, I don't care that Trump's a dictator as long as he's given me back our America. I don't care that Trump's a dictator. So fascism is here because a lot of Americans are perfectly fine if the fascist is their fascist. If their fascist is their dictator using his power to go after people and voices and beliefs and opinions they don't like. Don't let anybody get a student visa if they're critical of Israel. Deport people who are pro-Palestinian. Don't mind that, Joe. I mean, that's all right? That's the government, again, going after speech, penalizing, deporting, jailing, detaining people because of speech, because of their speech. I don't mind that, Joe, because they're anti-Israel. They're going after Trump. They support the Palestinians, right? So there is a large segment of the American population that is perfectly fine with a fascist as long as the fascist is their fascist. And for the rest of the American people, too bored, too busy, too distracted, too preoccupied, too unserious to care. Joe, I'm making money, man. Stock market's good, man. My job's good, man. Kids are doing fine, man. Want to buy that new boat, man. I don't have time, man. I got it. Do you see what's on TV? Let me tell you about this new streaming show I'm watching. This series is unbelievable, Joe. Or this movie I just saw. Or I love going online. I'm doing all my shit. I don't have time, man. I don't have time to pay attention or worry about the fact that we've put a fascist in the White House. And for these people will wake up down the road once they begin to get hurt. They will wake up. Like right now, Trump, the fascist, is detaining without due process and deporting brown and black people, right? But a lot of white people who voted for Trump, they look the other way. Again, too busy, too distracted. And by the way, Joe, it's only brown and black people. You're going to wake up one day. Hey, brother, you're going to wake up one day and it ain't going to be just brown, black people. It ain't going to be. It's going to be you. It's going to be me. It's going to be white people. And you're going to scream, oh my God, how this isn't right. Not in America. No president should have this much power where he can just detain a white person like me without due process and then deport me to some company. I'm white. I'm Christian. President of the United States shouldn't have that much power. Who's next in the Trump administration's crosshairs? That question was asked yesterday. That question presupposes, acknowledges that we have a fascist in the White House. And America, fuck it, damn it. If you don't care that the President of the United States can have the power to destroy law firms and destroy tech companies and destroy media companies and get people fired and ignore due process with American citizens as well. I could go on all day. If you don't mind that a president has these fascist powers, a president can silence people, shut people up, a government system led by a dictator having complete power, forcibly suppressing opposition and criticism. And oh, by the way, emphasizing an aggressive nationalism and often racism. That is today's Republican Party. Authoritarian, nationalistic, and bigoted. Right there. Today's Republican Party, my former party, is a fascist political party right here in America. And if you don't care, well, then you will deserve every single thing you get. No president, not in this country, no president should have the power to get private individuals silenced, censored, or fired. That's not what the American presidency should be. And I get it. I acknowledge, right, that we're way beyond the point of even having a debate about that because Congress stopped doing their job. So we only have two branches of the federal government right now. So Congress is enabling Trump to be a fascist, the Republican-led Congress. The courts are doing the best they can. But as of now, Trump is ignoring about 32, 33% of all court rulings that go against him. Emphasizing nationalism and often racism. In this country. Don't say fascism snuck up on you. Don't say that. you should have been paying attention. It should have mattered to you. The survival of our democracy, gosh darn it, should have mattered to you every bit as much as the price of eggs, price of milk. The survival of our democracy should have mattered to you every bit as much as how much money you're making. One other topic this Friday. Did you see Jerome Powell yesterday? The Fed chair. I've said this now for a while. Donald, follow me. There's logic here. Donald Trump is a bully. Bullies are ignorant, and cruel, but bullies are also cowards. Trump's the biggest coward on the planet. Bullies are cowards, and you know that, right? We all taught our kids that. You got to face down a bully. Bullies are cowards. It sucks when you've got a bully that you got to deal with, but the only way you deal with a bully is to punch that bully in the nose. And that's how you raise your kids. That's how I raised my kids. That's you know that. We know that. We know that at their core, bullies are cowards. It's always just fucking bugged the hell out of me that world leaders come over here and they coddle and compliment Trump and just like pay him homage. These media companies and the law firms, and they all cave into Trump, universities and colleges settling with Trump, everybody trying to bow to Trump, and everybody trying to suck up to Trump, suck up to the bully. It's the exact opposite of how you deal with a bully. You don't suck up to a bully. You don't make nice to a bully. You fucking punch a bully in the nose. But damn near nobody does that with Trump. Again, from world leaders to business leaders to politicians to heads of media companies to college presidents, they look at Trump and they all know Trump's a bully. They all know he's a dumbass. They all know he's cruel and ignorant. But they all get down on their knees and compliment him and wipe his brow and try to make nice with him. And that doesn't get them anywhere. Jerome Powell, the head of the Fed yesterday, said, fuck that. And he reminded all of us in about 35 to 40 seconds how you treat a bully. Trump was with Powell yesterday. They were in the basement of the Fed, the Fed building, because the Fed building's going through a big major reconstruction. So Trump was down there with a hard hat on, with a construction helmet on, and Powell had his construction helmet on. And Trump was doing his usual thing of spewing bullshit and lies. And again, before I show you the clip, that's the other thing. Trump lies every time he opens his mouth, but nobody corrects the lies. He spews bullshit every time he speaks, but everybody just lets him spew bullshit. Jerome Powell didn't want any of that and didn't do any of that. Go ahead and play it, Keith.
Yeah. So we're taking a look, and it looks like it's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, I haven't heard that from anybody at the Fed.
Yeah, it just came out.
Our notes had it at 3.1 as well.
3.1.
3.2. This came from us?
Yes. I don't know who does that.
You're including the Martin renovation. You just added
our entire capital.
Yeah, you just added in a third building is what that is. That's a third building.
Well, no,
including the
but
Martin building.
it's a building that's being built.
No, it was built 5 years ago. We finished
Boom!
it 5
Thank
years
you,
ago.
Keith. Thank you, Keith. Thanks, man. I love that. He corrected Trump. Trump lied. And Jerome Powell, did you see him there shaking his head? Trump, it's your overruns, man. You're supposed to be like $2 million to redo the building and the construction. And now you're up to 3.1 million or whatever. And Powell, did you see him there shaking his head? That's not right. No, you're wrong. And do you imagine what's going through Powell's head? No, you fucking dumbass, you're wrong. That's not right. That's not right. And then Trump, again, spewing lies and bullshit, pulls out the whatever paper he's got, puts it in front of Powell. Powell looks at it, and right away Powell sees you've included the name of that building. You've included a third building in these false projections of $3.1 million. You've included a third building. And Trump said, well, yeah, because that's a building that's being built as well. And Powell said, no, that building was built 5 years ago. Fuckhead. Trump lied, and Powell caught him in the lie. And most importantly for us, Powell called him out on the lie. No, dumbass. That building was built 5 years ago. Why the hell is it still in these projections? Boom. Again, Jerome Powell, in 40 seconds, reminding the country of how you fucking deal with a bully. All these big, tough business leaders who suck Trump's toes, and all these college university presidents and heads of law firms that all just bow and wipe his brow and give Trump all the compliments in the world, and Trump just steamrolls them. And along comes Jerome Powell, and he just shakes his head and says, no, you're wrong. Nope. Let me see the paper. You're wrong. Let me see. You're lying, Trump. So let me see what that lie is based on. Boom. I'm going to look at the sheet. Oh, you're including a building that was built a long time ago. Calling Trump out in real time on his lies. Shame on this fucking country. Shame on all these business leaders to bring it back home. Shame on all these politicians and private individuals, man. If we have a fascist in the White House, and we do, man, history will look back. Oh my God, how did America turn fascist? How did America put a fascist in the White House? Man, there's going to be plenty of space on the fact that there's going to be plenty of ink written about the fact that so many people laid down to the fascist and cut deals with the fascist and settled with the fascist and tried to make nice with the fascist and coddled the fascist and caved to the fascist. That's why we had a fascist in the White House. Again, one more reminder. Donald Trump lies every time he opens his mouth. And it's at a point, remember, I say all the time, where the media never calls him on his lies anymore because it's not news. Nobody calls Trump on his lies anymore because he lies so much. People just shrug their shoulders and say, oh, that's Trump. Oh, that's Trump, man. Joe, that's Trump, man. He's a salesman. He's a marketer. We've normalized his lies. We don't do that with any other politician because we hold Donald Trump to such a low bar. But there's Jerome Powell yesterday calling him out on one of his lies, calling bullshit on one of his lies, correcting the record. Man, America, wake up and pay attention. Every American should watch that 40-second clip with the Fed chair yesterday. How to deal with a bully, how to handle a bully. All bullies are cowards. Trump's a fucking coward. Thank you, Jerome Powell. Thank you. Thank you, everybody else, for listening this Friday. Again, my Substack, go to my Substack, subscribe to my Substack. If you feel like becoming a paid subscriber, gosh, that would be awesome. socialcontractwithjoewalsh.substack.com. We offer a lot of fun goodies to paid subscribers. If you just want to be an unpaid subscriber to my Substack, please do. Everything I do, say, and write is right there. Send me an email if you want to email me about anything. The Social Contract with Joe Walsh at gmail.com. All one word. The Social Contract with Joe Walsh at gmail.com. Thank you, Keith. Kiko, thank you. Everybody have a glorious, glorious weekend. Take some time, chill. And as always, be brave.
Thank you for listening. Remember to listen, share, and follow The Social Contract with Joe Walsh on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and everywhere great podcasts are found. And be sure to leave a 5-star review. This has been The Social Contract with Joe Walsh.